Welcome to TheoTrade. It's Don Kaufman here on a Wednesday afternoon, March 25th, 2026. 30 minutes to go to the cash close with the S&Ps up some 36 points. These rallies, though, they're not holding. I want to start with this. First and foremost, when I say the rallies are not holding, the S&Ps were substantially higher, but just kind of right off the bat here, taking a look at the S&Ps and the week at large. So we just jumped over to the SPX. I wanted to give you a good feel for it. Oh, we had Monday and a failed rally. Look, the marketplace still finished up, and we had ultimately Tuesday where, we finished the infamous Doji Star. It's still a failed rally. We didn't close anywhere near the highs, and we're seeing much of the same today. But the day is young. I mean, we still have 30 plus minutes to go in the trading session. But again, it's failed rally after failed rally. And you can feel the instability in this marketplace. No question about that. And the volatility, which I'm going to show you in a moment, also displays some of the instability. But I'm going to try to do everybody a huge, favor over here and just forget about all the geopolitical stuff going on right now. Just stop, okay? By the time you were able to read any information, the marketplace has already disseminated everything instantaneously. So there's no reason to sit here like it's a war room and try to game plan every single move the market's going to make. I'm going to tell you once again, and I keep reiterating the exact same thing. There is no bullish or bearish. There is no bullish or bearish. There is only volatility. And what that implies, okay, is that it's going to be a little bit of a rough ride going forward. Markets clearly do not always go up, but I'm losing my mind over the fact that people are having a rough time right now. Okay, this is what we live for, people. This volatility, this is what traders do. Okay, and I keep showing the exact same chart. This marketplace isn't down. Like if I looked at absolute high in the spiders to where we're exactly trading right this second, the market's not even down 6% from the high. Not even 6%. You're not even in S&P corrective territory. And at the same time, though, I kind of feel like people are freaking out all over the place. And trade is, they're like, I'm getting eaten alive. Eat alive. You're not even down, 5-6%. Where's the sell side activity? Because what you're, if you're in Microsoft, you got me. Microsoft's getting killed. There's no question about it. When I actually bring up auto expected moves, this is hideous. This thing's actually hits the lower edge of the expected move, hits the lower edge of the expected move, hits the lower edge of it. I mean, it's way oversold territory inside of Microsoft and could be opportunistic for a bullish trade. I have no problem saying that. In fact, I may even route one here in the next couple of minutes. But the truth is, okay, the markets as a whole, they're being held together right now, okay, by the biggest and baddest of them all, which is Nvidia. Nvidia, once again, okay, and I've reiterated this in like every video, it's unscathed. Why this matters, okay? This tells me, and this unto itself tells me, selling hasn't even begun. Nobody's freaking out and getting a redemption on their mutual fund. If you guys have no idea what a redemption is, if you have a 401k and you go to the 401k provider, you say, get me out of my fund. And of course, they're going to tell you, no, it's a 2040 fund. We do not get out now, but you can get out. And if people were getting out, though, you would see it reflected inside of Nvidia. Why would you see it in Nvidia? Because it's the largest market cap, it's the largest constituent to the S&P 500. If people start smoking out of their positions over there, clearly it's going to impact Nvidia. On a year-to-date basis, Nvidia is down 5%. It's nothing. And that's why the S&Ps are actually still holding up. Okay. Now, it's not just Nvidia. Google has a lot to do with it too, but Google, now you got to be a little concerned. Google in the last 2 trading sessions, okay, it's breaking. It's breaking down. And you may not have noticed it today because, Tesla got a little bit of a bid back under it. We're still playing a little bit of the rotation game. And of course, Nvidia is up 2%. Nvidia is carrying the whole market today is literally being carried by Nvidia, not the financials. They can't get out of their own way. Okay. What I'm trying to get at here, and probably the biggest premise of this Wednesday night's video is simply this, okay? It's not the geopolitical risk. There's a lot more going on in this market and a lot more wrong in this market. And don't take my word for it. Look for yourself. It's Microsoft. It's officially at this point down 21% on a year-to-date basis. That's not from the high. Okay, this is in full blown. Like if you like the terms bull or bear, here you go. This one's for you, big guy. Okay, those of you that are in the terms bull or bear, there you go. From more recent high, okay, it's off over 30%. It's starting to get a little bit more serious when you recognize that it's Microsoft. Why? Because you start to recognize Microsoft. It's being disrupted by AI. Okay, well, Google has AI. Okay, are they being disrupted by AI, or are people just fed up and starting to actually sell some of those funds? We are right on the cusp, people. Underneath, what's going on geopolitically, underneath, okay, there's real damage starting to be inflicted, but no one has actually, quote unquote, gone for it yet. I haven't seen any signs of really big sell side activity. Now, we're basically talking about tech. And the reason I'm talking about tech is because, look, that's what's on the forefront. That's what's holding, okay, this is the glue behind the entire marketplace. Now, if you want to see some really crazy areas, go look at the bond market. People completely forgot about this. The bond market has been collapsing down lately. That's a huge move. That is bringing interest rates skyrocketing higher. Right now, okay, we're going to cruise down. We're going to take our time. We're going to look at the 10-year interest rate. 10-year interest rate was recently, okay, at about 4%, okay, cracked all the way to 4.4% and reverted back down a little bit. Huge move, though, inside of rates. And people are missing this because, you're looking at the geopolitical risk. It's just, that's where I'm saying you got to stop focusing on what you cannot control. Okay, there's a peace plan. There's not a peace plan. Sometimes there's peace with missiles. I get it, but nevertheless, who the hell cares? You know what you should start caring about? Maybe you should go look over at HYG. Maybe you should realize that junk, holy crap, junk is actually starting to come apart. Junk never does anything until it does something huge, and junk is moving right now. Now we got to start to pay attention. Why is junk coming apart? Probably because of private credit. Take a look. Okay, Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank, this is big. This one you better pay attention to. Deutsche Bank down about 24% on a year-to-date basis. We're just looking year-to-date, okay? Eris, which is the latest one to actually take a hit because of the private credit debacle. It's down 36% year-to-date, okay? KKR is like literally one of the biggest and baddest of them all. It's down 30%. Shall I continue? And by the way, just to give you a quick feel, you look at this over 3 years and you're going to go, holy crap, okay? Everything they've done basically over the last 3 years has pretty much been wiped away. That's 2.5 years of trade and you're right back to where you started. You look at like Deutsche Bank, okay? Deutsche Bank is wow, that could be a long run to the downside. Like I'm trying to give you what I would term as low-hanging fruit in here for where you might actually want to place a trade, because I don't think the trend is going to change anytime soon. This is actually Blackstone. Okay, everybody knows them. Everybody, they own like half of every city in terms of residential homes. They're getting killed right now in private credit. Like, and again, I'm on a 3-year chart. And the reason I'm on a 3-year chart, I wanted you to see the damage being done in this marketplace, because everybody's in geopolitical land. They're missing the bigger picture. Okay, the entire market is getting undermined right now, and you've got Blackstone and you've got Deutsche Bank and you've got KKR and here's the largest asset manager basically in the known universe. This is BlackRock. Even BlackRock on a year-to-date basis, it's only down about 9%. Start to open that chart up though a little bit. And again, I'm even going to go to a 5-year here. Okay, there is some damage being inflicted right now. You got to watch this. The largest asset manager pretty much out there is taking a hit, and it's starting to take entire sectors with it. When you start to look at KRE, just on the cusp. This is regional banks. This is just on the cusp of starting to see some sell side activity along with some of the other financials. Okay, but again, All of that is for nothing. It's just undermining the entire marketplace, but it's for nothing because if you added all of those companies up, it still doesn't equal, okay, the behemoth that is $4.3 trillion of Nvidia, okay? Markets between now, okay, the end of the week, go after low-hanging fruit. What do I mean by that? Look at stuff like SAP. Today, there's a rally in the marketplace. SAP can't get off the mat, keeps getting pushed lower. Okay, look at stuff like CRM, and this is where like the software apocalypse. CRM looks like it's going to continue to actually break some of the lows. Could be opportunistic. Look at stuff like, let's go just completely off the beaten path. Look at like Lululemon. Okay, Lululemon, what's it about to do? It's about to crack lows, okay? And we're talking, you got to open up a 5-year chart and you don't see lows. You got to open up a 15-year. You got to come all the way back to pre-COVID to see the damage that's being inflicted here. Go take a look at stuff like Nike, okay? You're like, holy crap, I haven't looked at that large of a chart in Nike in what? In 15 years. Nike's getting killed in the marketplace. Look at most recent. They've switched the, basically since all the way back here, since the COVID highs. Okay, it's been nothing but a decline. Okay, why am I looking at this? Low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit simply means, look, we're having a little bit of a rally today, and these things they can't get off the mat. Okay, and that is a huge tell when you've got a bit of a rally. Okay, and stocks are not performing well, like Microsoft continues to see new lows. This one, though, is in heavily oversold territory. But then you got Google. Google is just starting to break. I'm telling you, okay, with all due respect, please, right? Markets right now, it's not about the geopolitics, okay? There's a much bigger story. You're just not seeing the S&Ps have the kind of decline that some of these individual products are having because, the retail world hasn't had like that Panic at the Disco moment yet. But man, we are close. We are really, really close. Forget the geopolitics, okay? It's for nothing. It's just a waste of your little GPU, if you will. The remainder of the week, look, we're higher this week, but nominally so. The week is expecting a $188 move. That's $188 up there, $188 down there. Where are we right now? About halfway home, okay? You got nothing. And I really mean that. Like, you haven't done anything. You haven't done anything. And I want to bring up something that is such an incredibly important point. I'm not saying that we're not necessarily oversold. We've had some failed rallies in here too. But here's one really wild one. Okay, last thing I'm going to mention here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, 8, 9, 10. We're on the 11th week of not closing outside the expected move. So when you start to say how unprecedented the moves are, on the contrary, everything we're doing right now is inside the expected move. Okay, strap in, people. There's going to be a crap load of volatility on Thursday or Friday. Okay, you could have a rip your face off rally, or we're going to completely collapse, and there is no in between here. Okay, there's not even any room for debate. You have a $100 expected move between now and Friday. I'm going to be very frank with you. I would freaking double that because I'm going to tell you. Okay. This is just quite simply put, okay, coming into a weekend, you got big problems right now. We could rally, and if we rally into the weekend, who cares about the geopolitics? There's peace. We rally 150, 200 points. Easily, no problem, okay? They're going to come in and they're going to short this marketplace big, okay? If we sell off massively, you're just setting yourself up for a rip-your-face-off rally. It's not going to matter. This is volatility. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here at TheoTrade. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.